Female CEOs, welcome to another segment of Ambila Answers. Great to have you this morning, and all the new people who have joined this morning, plus keep on joining every week. Wonderful to have you be part of this group and join us. Sorry, a little introduction. My name is Ambila Nath. I'm one of the guest editors for the Female CEO, so I've got a lot of articles in the magazine as well. And I'm also a tarot reader and a healer, and I incorporate all of that into the work that I do with my clients. So a lot of my segments you get me referencing in terms of energies, but beyond that I don't know much else in terms of crystal psychics, things like that. But you do get the holistic, more deeper talks and things like that. And I'm stalling. I don't know why. So let's start again. This is what happens when you're doing a live, but at least you know it's real. So yes, so that was a little bit about me and what I do, and I want to give you today's topic. Yes, today's topic. Sorry, I'm feeling like this because I can't believe we've got 2 weeks to Christmas, and I'm sure like everybody else things are going on in your head. You're like, yes, I've got to do this. So I am now 100% back with you guys. Apologies for all of that. So let's get into the segment. So today I want to talk to you guys relating to where do you seek happiness. Now the reason why I asked this question, or rather I'm talking about the subject, is that a client of mine, because as I said, you know, I'm a tarot reader, so a client of mine some while back said to me that I'm going to be happy when X, Y, and Z happens in my life. And all of those X, Y, and Zs that she was referring to were external things. And I had to really stop myself from turning from a reader to a coach, because, you know, I did delve a little bit deeper. You know, of course, as a coach, that's just a trigger for us to talk about lots of other things. But that kind of got me looking into it, because it's not the first time that I've heard somebody say that to me, that when I have X, Y, and Z, that's how I'm going to be happy. So I want to put this question out to you guys, especially as we are leading towards the end of the year, a new fresh year starting. Just how many of you, when you are asked that question of what would make you happy, when is it that you automatically give the answers, well, when I have X and when I have Y and when this happens and when that happened, and that will make me happy? Because as a coach, that's a trigger for me to start looking deeper, for me to start looking at what's actually going on, and why is it you feel that those things will make you happy. Because what happens if those things that you want don't manifest for a month, a year, 10 years, the next decade? Does that mean you're not going to be happy during that time? Does that mean that you're going to stall your happiness until you reach that goal or person or whatever it is that you want to manifest? So what is it that you think about that? And the main thing I think people think is that when I have money, when I make it, you know, when I have X amount in my bank and stuff, then I'm going to be happy. So automatically that's the thing of, actually they're not talking so much about the money, but they're talking about the security that the money is going to give them. They're talking about the things that they'll be able to do, and that's just an example. So if you are actually in that place where you are feeling that your happiness lies with something else or someone else or something that you will achieve, then start to look a little bit more deeper of what's going on. Because you've got to then flip it, and I love doing my flip coins. So if you're thinking one way, then you've got to flip the coin the other way as well, and think of the pro, the con, well, not pro cons, but just the other perception of it. So if you did get what you wanted, i.e. you had all of that money in the bank and, you know, you had that security and stuff like that, would you really be, and it didn't take you, and somebody else like myself, a reader, said to you, oh yes, it's going to take you 10 years to manifest that, what would you do then? What would you do then if I said that, if I gave you a direct date and said to you that the happiness you are seeking is going to take you 10 years and you're going to achieve it on this date, what would you do then? Would you say to yourself, okay, so from now to 10 years, I'm going to be miserable, I'm going to be unhappy because I've said my happiness lies when I achieve this? Then you really need to ask yourself that question. So happiness, as you know, is something that we talk about, and we say that it actually is about us looking at ourselves, looking at what within us is going on, but also what are the little joys, excuse me, what are the little joys that make us happy, but we probably don't celebrate them. And I think what you need to do, and this is what I'm going to leave you with today, is that if you are seeking happiness and that happiness is somewhere else and it's going to take time to manifest, start to reprogram your mindset, start to reprogram and really look at yourself and start to enjoy the little happinesses and joys that you're having on a daily basis, because it's because you're ignoring those, because you're not seeing those as part of that journey, part of that goal. You're aiming it to the bigger picture. You're kind of not allowing yourself to, one, have that feeling, but consciously also acknowledge that you have that feeling. Because there could be, you know, lots of laughter in a program you're watching, a conversation you're having with a loved one or a friend or anything, or just watching, you know, animals playing around in the garden and stuff like that, and that, you know, puts a smile on your face. That is happiness and joy. So it's also looking at, what is your interpretation of happiness? What does it mean to you? So especially as we are coming towards the end of the year, I think it's really, really more important with doing that kind of work, and maybe just asking yourself that question. You don't need to go into great amounts of depth, but really do try and get that honest answer, and not the answer that will go, oh yeah, you know, generic, but really look more deeper into yourself and find out what that will be. Because as I said, if you saw my last week's segment, and for those of you who are catching the replay, watching me for the first time, please go to the media tab. There's plenty of other videos and things that I've done, and catch my video from last week, which was the Goodbye Christmas Tree. I'm not going to roll the Goodbye Christmas Tree in this, but I just want to reference something within that. We are now also moving into a new decade in the 3 weeks, well, less than 3 weeks time. And that new decade is going to bring us a lot of new energies. So really, really look at, what do you want to carry forward into that decade, as well as the new year, because that is going to impact what you manifest. So really look into that. Ask yourself that question. What is going to really make me honestly happy? And what is it that I want to carry on through to the next year? I hope today's segment has been helpful. I hope you've got some kind of insight from it. As I said, catch my previous videos. If you want to, segment is Ambila Answers All Things Relationships. So if there's anything at all, and relationships with regards to everything and anything that impacts your life. So if there's anything you want to ask me, you would like more insights to, you want to talk to me, privately PM me. If you've got the confidence, write it in the comments, but I'm really not expecting it, but reach out to me. I'm going to put all of my comments and links and everything at the bottom of this. Also, for those who don't know it, I'm running a vision board workshop next week, 2 actual workshops. So if you want to help, not if you want to help, but if you would like help in terms of manifesting for next year, check them out. Again, I'll put the links at the bottom. But I wish you guys a wonderful Thursday, a wonderful week, and look into what really, truly you're asking for when you ask the question, what would make me happy? And I will catch you same time next week, which is Thursday, 10 a.m. in the next segment of Ambila Answers. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and stay warm. Speak to you guys next week. Bye.